Hey, this is Adam with Theros Media, and today we're adding on to the video we went for yesterday and how to set the perfect bid. So we talked about how to set an estimate bid. So if you're bidding on installations, how to set that properly. It's basically average value of the installation, booking closing ratio, multiply that to get the lead value. How much is that? How much ROI, return on ad spend, are you trying to get from that advertising channel or service? Then you divide that lead value by the return on ad spend, get the cost per lead. Then you divide that by your ratio, conversion ratio on your website. So that's how you work down to what the bid should be per keyword. So ductless keywords for us, we know in our area, $11.87 is kind of the bid, the median bid we start with for all the ductless keywords. Obviously, some are higher, some are lower, but that's the median bid we start with. And every service is a little different because every service has different breakdowns. They all have different booking ratios, different closing ratios, but we all use the averages and we set everything to the lowest common. Lowest common denominator, so we know, ductless booking ratio might be 50%, but the lowest one is 35% for whatever. So we set everything to 35, so we make sure we're across the board going above and beyond for our clients. Now, to set a service lead value is a little different. Typically, we try to only do on the first initial transaction to make sure we're making the contractor money, because this relies heavily on a dialed-in sales process for the contractor. And usually that's not the case, unfortunately, but you can set yours a little differently if you're doing it yourself. So if you have a initial transaction, so typically a ductless service is around $300 to $400. $450 would be kind of high, but this is based on, so I'll show you what I base our numbers on. 2-head maintenance plus diagnostic. So diagnostic for us is around $100, and then 2-head maintenance, I really just added in time. So 2-head maintenance is going to be 2 hours of work for one technician. 2 hours of work for one technician is $180 something for the technician. So $180 per hour for the contractor, and then add that in. So it ended up being a little more than $460. So I just divided, or I went down to 450 to make it even numbers. So that's how you set the job cost, or the average value for this specific type of lead. So if we're going after ductless service leads, and we know we have a maintenance plan that retains people, let's say 3-4 years, we can do it like this, times 4. So your average, how long they stay on average, adding that, plus, so 4 years times however much the plan is. So let's say the average plan, let's say you do a per head basis, outdoor unit is going to be $100. Each individual head is going to be $80. So let's say on average, based on our value here, usually it's a 2-head system. So 100 plus 160 is 260. So 4 years, 260. So the average value of a ductless service customer is about $1,500 for this contractor. If they decide that they, $4, $260 per maintenance plan. So that's the average cost or average value of a customer for this contractor. Now let's say booking ratio, closing ratio are pretty much the same across the board for all the services. Then the average lead for this contractor is $530. So it's a little more than the initial value of them coming in initially. So usually the initial ticket is around $450 for a ductless service. $530 is their actual lead value. So this lead is worth $530 for this contractor. And then the ROI we're trying to get on the advertising, 5 times. Cost per lead can be about $106, and then the cost per bid can be about $10.65. It's kind of expensive for ductless service, so we'll just bump it up a little bit. There we go. So the average bid will be around $7.61 for this contractor. So typically, They are install heavy, so they're not focusing on the service side that much. So they're not going to push that. They don't need that much return on investment on their service advertising, but on the install advertising they do. So that's why 5 is here. But if you want to average it out to 7 across the board, you'll see that bids go down. So that's how you set the average value. So lifetime value times your booking ratio times your closing ratio gets your lead value, divided by return on ad spend gets you their cost per lead that you're aiming for, and then your cost per lead divided by times the conversion ratio on your landing page, lead form, what have you, would be your bid. So that's how you set everything for the service side of the business and not just the installation side. So hopefully this helps you and you make more money, and we'll talk to you soon.